Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. As you guys can see, we are in the main bay, but if you turn around real quick, you'll see that the truck is covered in some masking tape and some plastic. Now, why is that covered up? It's because we're going to be painting the bed today. We'll be painting one side and then paint the other side with that Sierra Denali bed that we swapped in a few weeks ago. It's black now, but we currently want to get it painted to the same color as the truck, and that's that dark spiral gray metallic. Now for the base coat, we're going to be using the tried and true method that we've done for pretty much the rest of the truck, the roof, the hood, and now the bed. We're going to be using our WA805K, that's the dark spiral gray metallic, and this is from R&E Paint Supply. This is a 1K urethane paint. It's pre-mixed, the hardener's already in it. They send it to you pre-mixed, and all you have to do is pretty much sand, prime, do all that stuff, and get ready to spray it. So I did skip a lot in this video. You guys will have seen that we're basically going to jump right into painting. I did do about 10 to 12 hours of body work. That includes removing all the panels, so the tail lights, the bumper, the hitch, the side marker lights, the bed caps, those rail caps that are on the back of the bed, because those are different between a regular 1500 and the Sierra Denali bed, so we removed those. And just a lot of work. And for this truck, I didn't actually prime the bed. All I did was scuff it and shoot it. Since it was already a black color, it wasn't like a different color like the rest of the truck, where it was either going to be like the hood was white, so I painted that with a gray primer, then I did a black sealer. The roof, we did the same thing, kind of a gray primer, then a black sealer, then the base coat. Since this is already black, I was like, well, we're not going to do all that sanding, because honestly, the bed was in really good condition. There was only one corner that had a crack in it, and I basically put epoxy resin on the back, and on the front of it, I just used that fiberglass reinforced filler that we've used in the past. Duraglass is what it's called. That's pretty much all that you guys missed, and so I started this project last Saturday. It is now the following Saturday, where we are actually at 100% done. And so yeah, like I was saying, about 10 to 12 hours of body work of sanding everything down. I actually started off that bodywork process with the scuff prep gel. We used that on the hood and the top and bottom of the hood. We used that. Then I switched right to 400, then right to 600. That's pretty much all we did. Did have a few spots where I had to go down a little bit more aggressive. There was some side molding on that the glue wouldn't come off. And unfortunately, when I tried to sand that, clean that off, I got down to the primer. So we did go down to like 80, 120, 223, 2400, then 600. So that's all the bodywork steps. Now we're going to cut to actually laying down the base coat. And as you guys can see here, we've started the base coat. Like I said, we prepped everything. We used some wax and grease remover. Then I used a tack cloth to clean the panel. Now I'm not sure if I've already started spraying some of the base coat, because I did a little bit of that. But basically I did 2 or 3 coats of the Rattle Cam 1K urethane base from R&E Paint Supply, like we said, and that's going down right now. So that's the base coat on the driver's side. Pretty much repeat the same thing on the passenger side, and then you're gonna be ready for your clear coat. Now the clear coat, we actually did something a little bit different. I picked up a paint gun and decided to use the old trusty Harbor Freight paint gun. Now this was not the $14 one, this was like the $40 version. It comes with the air pressure regulator. Then I added a filter on the bottom. And then you guys see that's that Milton fitting that we did in a couple videos ago. And basically we picked up this gun just for the clear coat. There's a couple reasons I didn't want to do the base coat. It's because, you know, the base coat is matched the rest of the truck just fine. I didn't want to risk introducing a new color and the whole truck being off. Like, you know, the back half of the truck being one color and the bed and cab being two different colors. So we stuck with the 1K base. And so all we did different on this time was we switched out the Spray Max for an actual spray gun. And this is the first time I've ever actually used one of these. And nothing special here. This is, like I said, that $40 spray gun from Harbor Freight. The only thing that I changed was this top nozzle. That nozzle for the cap system is actually from Spectrum. This is a Harbor Freight brand as well. So that's part number 5705. And basically what that does, that eliminates the cap, the really crappy plastic cap on this. And basically allows you to replace it with this universal paint starter kit. This is kind of a knockoff of the 3M disposable. So you've got a disposable cup, you got a disposable lid, and that actually goes onto this. It's the Harbor Freight mixing cup with the locking ring. So I think that adapter was like $6 or $7, something like that. Maybe it was 10. And then, you know, this whole adapter system, I think this was like 30 bucks. But like we got like 10 of each. So, you know, now we'll get 10 projects out of this, and there's basically gonna be no cleanup. All you gotta do is take the cap off, throw the lid out, throw the disposable cup out, clean out the locking ring, and you're pretty much good to go. So it not only saves up cleaning time, but it also saves up cleaning materials. So, you know, your mineral spirits, your paint thinner, or your acetone, whatever you decide to use. Now, with that being said, guys, you do have to clean this gun apart. It took me about an hour to take all the fittings off this gun. I cleaned off the nozzle, I cleaned off the cap up here. I took this controller out, I cleaned out the bottom. There's a fitting here, there's a fitting here. I disassembled the entire gun. And basically what Harbor Freight does is they put a bunch of silicone, some other kind of material in here to prevent this from rusting when they ship overseas. That all has to be cleaned out. So you have to completely disassemble the gun, and they do provide you the tool. It's somewhere around here. But like I said, just clean out everything. It comes with a bristle brush. Use that, use some acetone, and like I said, just clean out every fitting. I think a lot of people just buy these guns, put paint in it, and start using it. By you cleaning out all that gunk, that silicone, that oil, there was some oil in this too, it will just prevent any of that contamination from getting in your paint. So now, speaking of that clear coat, we actually didn't show you what we went with. I actually went with this Southern Polyurethanes Inc. Production Clear. So it comes with your clear coat itself, then the hardener or activator, whatever you want to call it. I bought a gallon. Probably didn't need a gallon, but you know, I figured I'd have plenty left over, and if there's anything else I want to clear with in the next year. I think the shelf life after you open the stuff is supposed to be about a year. So I went with this clear coat because it was highly recommended by a friend, and he said he has pretty good results with it. And since I'm a novice, I've never used a paint gun before, and I wanted something that was kind of foolproof. So this stuff is 4-to-1, so you put 4 parts of your clear coat to 1 part hardener. The Harbor Freight gun actually comes with the cap from Spectrum, that actually has your measuring stick on it. So fill it up to 4, if that's how many. So if you go 4 ounces, and then you do your 1 ounce, like 4, and then the next 4 is your hardener level. So I got all that mixed up, and let's get to spraying the clear. So as you guys can see, we are basically starting with the driver's side rear bed again, and we're gonna be spraying that. So the regulator on the tank is set at 150 PSI. The regulator at the air filters that we put in, you guys saw a previous video, I'll have a link up above. That was set to 100 PSI. And then the filter at the end of the gun, I set to actually about 44 PSI, but when you spray the trigger, it reduces down to 40 PSI. And as you can see, we're spraying the panel, you know, the top, down, bottom, and we did 1 heavy coat on this coat, and then we did a second heavy coat, which we're about to finish up. So as you can see here, this is the passenger side fender. I actually sprayed this last, and this panel actually turned out better than the driver's side panel. But as you guys can see, the reflective clarity is real good. I did get some crap in the paint, but that's gonna happen when you're painting in your garage. And so I will have to sand out some of that stuff. And we didn't get many runs on this side. We only got like one small one. And here's the driver's side fender. This is what you guys saw in the video. And as you guys can see, good reflective qualities, and there is some runs on this side. Kind of like I said, this is the first panel I ever painted. And we did get a couple runs, but I'm not afraid of getting those out. All right, guys, that's pretty much gonna be it for the truck bed project. We've painted it, we've wired it, we installed it, we cut up the old one. You guys haven't seen that, actually? No, you guys have seen that one, I think. And yeah, so we are 100% done with that. This project went pretty easy. Like I said, the body work was real easy. There was no rust, there's nothing like, there's one split in the plastic bedside that I had to fix, but that's not a bigger deal. A little bit of epoxy, a little bit of that Duraglass, and we repaired that. But like I said earlier in the video, this was the first time I'd used a gun. This was real easy, a real simple project to use a gun on, and I'm way more happy with the results. Yes, there's some orange peel. Yes, I got some runs, and yes, I've got some crap in the paint, but you get crap in the paint using a rattle can. But I will say this, the big difference is it's a lot easier. You just spray it, keep going, keep going, keep going, and you're done. You know, you're not following a wet line. You're not trying to cover up all your dry spots that your rattle can might have. Your rattle can also spits. You know, it likes to throw blobs of clear coat on it. I had that happen on the hood. So, you know, just a lot of stuff that a lot of downsides for that rattle can. And honestly, cost basis, I spent roughly 150 bucks on this gallon of clear, but in comparison, and I only probably used maybe a quart of it, maybe a quart and a half. If you do the same comparison of that to rattle can, the rattle cans are $20 each, and I'd usually use probably 6 of them. So that's $120 for a project like this. And you know, once you open that, you're done. It's not like you can set it on the shelf and use it later. So I still have over half the gallon left, probably 3/4 of the gallon left, and we can use that for future projects. Up to, I think, about a year. I think that's what the shelf life is. So we've got plenty of materials to do other projects, and it's just way more efficient using the gun, you know, your material cost, and just how far it goes. Yes, I did have to buy some filters. Yes, I did have to buy a paint gun, but I probably got less than, the gun was like 40 bucks. I think that Spectrum system was another 40 bucks-ish. Not counting the paint, because the paint would be a cost either way. And then the filters, I got another roughly, say, 200 bucks there. So sub $300 for this project, but well, I guess that's tools. So $200 to $300 in tools, and we can use the stuff again and again and again. Now the gun, I don't have high hopes for it. I did clean it out. I cleaned it out after I used it, because I sprayed one bedside one night. I spread the next bedside the next night. So I have cleaned it out a couple times, but those Harbor Freight guns, I don't think they'll go the distance. So I'll probably have to replace it with a new gun, you know, 2-3 paint jobs down the road. But like I said, those paint guns are only like 40 bucks, something like that, and not a bigger deal. So I'll quit rambling and we'll end the video here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, hit that like button. If you guys want to see more truck content, Corvette content, that will be back soon, hopefully, and shop updates, stuff like that, hit that subscribe button, turn on your bell notifications. And if you guys want to help support the channel, I'll have links to Southern Polyurethanes Inc. down below. And also make sure you check out all the Amazon links for the stuff, the filters, the gun. I think I'd find most of that stuff on Amazon. We'll drop those links down below. And make sure you check out our website as well, BonecrrusherSS.com. We do have some new Duramax content, shirts and whatnot on there. And yeah, so that's about it. Thanks, guys. Have a great one.